Some of BC's biggest names in boats, the Navy, the Coast Guard, Seaspan, BC Ferries, all have aging vessels that need to be disposed of. But one question hangs in the air. Where will they go?
We don't have a facility that can recycle them in a responsible way.
Port Alberni NDP MP Gord Johns believes he has a solution. Build a facility in Port Alberni to deal with it.
The Queen of Burnaby, for example, is set to be recycled, and it's going to cost over $10 million to recycle. And everybody agrees that that's ridiculous, that we shouldn't be spending that much money just towing vessels to get them recycled, that we need to do it here on the West Coast.
The city says it will boost economic growth at a time when the forestry industry in Port Alberni is in decline.
We've struggled in the forestry industry, and we continue to have challenges. So we are diversifying the economy. But there is room in Port Alberni for this.
It has to happen in British Columbia, period. Port Alberni, we think, is the best place to put it.
Sashot elected Chief Councillor Ken Watts is a part of the leadership group, and he says his nation is cautiously optimistic, but wants to ensure a high environmental bar is met to preserve the land. Watts hopes the Sashot First Nation can be a partner.
This water is the lifeblood of our community, as I said before, not just for fish, but for other cultural purposes as well. So anything that flows from upland into the water is always of concern to us.
Amex is a marine services and salvage company that's taken over a retired sawmill in Port Alberni. They say they'd be happy to operate a future vessel recycling facility.
Typically what will happen is, they stack up on the coast right now, and what you find is you don't deal with them until it becomes an environmental impact or they become a sunken vessel. And then the impact to the environment is greater than what it would be if you had a plan and a protocol to take care of these assets.
He says the group will also be advocating for better regulations and standards for ship recycling on Canada's west coast, but also across the world, pointing to a shipbreaking company in Union Bay that had its water access revoked after allowing toxic effluent to run off into the Baines Sound.
If we're going to recycle ships, we need to do it in a responsible, safe way, and communities have to be on board, and it has to be done with the highest standards.
John says he sees this as a nation-building project that he hopes the federal government will fast-track. Claire Palmer, CBC News, Port Alberni.